Hello YouTube. This is Carson Hussein slash Card Crash 35. I'm gonna be making a quick deck profile, and I am gonna make it quick because I tried this more than twice now. Before I start, I'm gonna say this is not a deck based on anything. Like it's not. Well, it is, but not like an overrated thing. Like I know a lot of people like running Six Sams and Tengu Plants, Dragunities, Flamvels, Fables. I really don't like those because I find them really overrated, and in my way, they don't work nowadays because in this new format, if you go first, you can set your back rows, and if you can pop out a Shien in your first turn, you basically got the duel in your hands and you won. So this deck is kind of made to counter those effects. So I've actually tested it more than once, um, not by myself, with a friend. So and it works. So hopefully you guys will like it, and if you guys have suggestions, please tell me. So it's based on like water, yeah, water and dark types because or their attributes because I really like these cards, and then most of them have good effects, and yeah, so I decided just to base it off of those. And it has a lot of discarding from your hand, so you're gonna obviously need to get cards in your hand. So I have something planned in for that. So let's start. First card is Dark Arm Dragon, obviously. Gores, Caius. And I forgot to mention these cards that are like this. That means I don't have these cards, but I will be getting them. Well, most of them actually. So if you guys have any, please let me know. Caius, Peten, three of them. I really like these cards because they work like malicious, Destiny or malicious. I see a lot of people running those actually malicious card. But it's semi-limited, so you can only have two in your deck, and if you draw a Mally, you kind of have a dead Mally in your hand unless you want a tribute for it, which is kind of a waste. Um, so that's why I like Peten because you can. It's like a malicious. It has the same effect, just that you can, instead of just from your deck, you could also do it from your hand. So if this goes to the graveyard and you have, let's say, one in your hand or your deck, and you want to get rid of one in your hand, you can special summon him. Or if you have both in your hand, you can special summon from your hand. If you have them in your deck, obviously from your deck. So I really like these cards. I see them as very being underestimated. So that's why I kind of run them. So not mostly because they're not really used and they have a good effect. So I like Peons over Mallies. Um, and they work really good with this card, Blackwing Mistral of the Silver Shield, because this card has a really high defense and it has it's a tuner and it's level 2. So you can set this one first, or actually you can set Peton first. If they destroy it, you can bring them from your deck or your hand, um, set one, and if they somehow destroy it, you can bring in this one. So it's kind of also like a Tengu. So this card can beat malicious and Tengus anytime because you can special summon from either your deck or your hand anytime they're sent to the graveyard. So this card beats Tengus and malicious. So that's why I really like these cards, and they're really underestimated. So if you set this one, set a P, and if it gets destroyed, you can special summon another one in defense, obviously. Then bring out Backwing, and then tune for a level 5. Um, the only one I could think of is a Cataster, because Cataster is like the best level 5 around, other than TG Hyper Librarian. But yeah, and even if you don't have it, you can just set it for defense, just like a Reborn Tengu. Even though Reborn Tengu has a really high attack, though. So yeah. Um, then Plague Spreader, obviously. Um, the Fabled Cerberus. I know this is weird, and I just said I don't like using Fableds or anything like that, but I like this card because you can discard it from your hand and special summon it. And since this card consists of discarding cards from your hand, this works great as one. So it works good if you have it in your hand and then you can discard it, and that's not a problem. So the only problem of this card is getting it to your hand. Level Eater, because it's a good effect, but I'm having second thoughts on this one. I might just switch it for another Cerberus to discard it, also use this to discard so I can special summon it later, and then use it as synchro material and stuff. So this one goes good with this deck, but I also like the Cerberus, so I might just replace this with Cerberus. Two quick draws. I use these because you can also discard cards, so you can basically just, and it's a tuner level 5, so if you bring this out, you discard a card, hope like Cerberus, then you can special summon it and special summon this one, and then bring out a Peten. You can tune for a level 7 or level 8, so it's a really good card, and you can bring out like Junk Berserker with it and cards like that. But it's mostly used for a Junk Destroyer, so that's why Quick Draw is really good. Penguin Soldier. I really like Penguin Soldier because instead of destroying the card, it sends it back to the hand. So if it's like a synchro monster, you can set this, they attack it, you flip it, and you can send up to 2 monsters back to their hand. And if they don't attack it and they have one set like if they have a monster set, you can flip it and send that card to their hand, and you can bring this one back, so you can set it again, use this effect next turn also. Or if they attack you, you just send back 2 cards. So that's why I like running Penguin Soldier instead of Snowman Eater. So and it can take out a Stardust. Snowman Eater can't do that. So Penguin Soldier over Snowman Eater all the time. Then I have 3 Divas for the waters, and there's gonna be 2 Gilmans. So you can bring out a Diva, special summon a Gilman, then you could basically, you have a level 5 right there. And I like running 3 and 2 Gilmans because it brings out like space. It takes out space from your deck, so you can draw into better cards and not just get 3 Divas up the top. So that's why I like running Divas and 2 Gilmans. Next card is Unknown Synchron. It's like a Cyber Dragon, but it's a tuner, so you can special summon and then normal summon any card from your hand. So if you have like a dead Caius or any card right there, you can tribute also. But it's I usually mostly for tuning. So you can special summon this card, bring out I would say like a Peten. That's all I can think of. Bring Armory Arm right there. Even though I don't like running Armory Arm, but yeah, you could just use that. Then last card. This was originally gonna be a Snowman Eater, but since I tested it and it doesn't work well, so I switched it for a Mobius, the Frost Monarch. So you can special summon this guy for and then tribute for Mobius or the Caius. So either way, it's good. 1 Allure and 1 Moray of Greed to whenever you discard a lot of cards from your hand, you can use this for backup. I have a lot of dark monsters in water, so it's not a problem if you draw those. 1 Reborn, obviously. I want a ultra rare one, so if you guys have one, let me know. Dark Hole, I should be getting this soon in the mail. Enemy controller for defense, or it could win you a duel. Mind Control, I actually kind of need one of these, so if you guys have any, let me know. MSTs, 2 of them, mostly staple cards. Book of Moon for defense and a staple. Scapegoat, mostly for defense if you discard too many cards from your hand and stuff. Divine Wrath, discard a card, negate the effect, and destroy it. So it works well with like basically any monster, because nowadays everybody likes running Shiens and effect monsters pretty much. So this one can basically take out a lot of cards. So then Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. I have 2 of these. The other one's right here. I have 2 Wing Blasts. So because you discard a card, so get rid of a Cerberus or a Level Eater and stuff like that. And you could send, instead of like Raigeki Break destroying a monster that can be countered with like Stardust, it sends them back to the deck. So if it's like if they have a lot of back rows, you can set these, activate it next turn, and basically just send their back rows back to the deck. And if they're traps, they have to set it again, so they can't use it next turn. Or if they're like really big synchros like Stardust, you can send them back, and they really can't do anything instead of like activate Solums. And that's kind of the only way to counter these. I don't really see people running 7 tools anymore, so this works really good against that. And if they do activate Solums, this kind of like just take out their consistency, so that it makes them really immobile to win if they don't have the Solums. So this card really works well. And these two cards, they work well. You can pick these over Raigeki Break a lot of times. So there you go. Compulsory evac device. I use this again instead of destroying a card. You just send it back to their hand. So if it's a tributing card, they have to tribute again. If it's just for defense, you can defend yourself. Or it works good against the Stardust, because I really see Stardust being used a lot these days. Or a Shien. So yeah. It doesn't work well if someone pops a Shien, but anyways. Next card is a bottomless. Actually, I only have one because I kind of needed space. And I don't really like using more like two, because it comes into a dead draw because you have to set it. So I really don't like that. So just bottomless, just one Solemn Judgment. I need one of these, so if you guys have one. Oh, and I also need a bottomless actually. Most of the cards I just shown that I should be getting in the mail. One Solemn Judgment. One Solemn Warning. I should be getting one soon. Well, actually, I don't know. The person hasn't confirmed yet. So, if not, still, PM me if you guys have one. I need one really badly. One Mirror Force, Torrential, and Time Machine works well because, like cards like Blackwing, Mistral, it works well to get them back.